What up, though? It's your boy Goody.
And I'm Big.
And welcome to the Goody and Big Show.
We in the motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's authentic, it's authentic. Goody and Big, Goody and Big, Goody and Big. We in the motherfucking house. We in the motherfucking house. I appreciate y'all. We got some guests with us today. My brothers I've been knowing for well over 20 years. It's your boy Chief. Chief, I am. How you doing? Peace. Peace, family.
How y'all doing? My name is Jesse.
Yes, Goody and Big. And we're going to talk about what everybody want to talk about. And this episode is Black Power. Now, before we dig into it, I like to shoot my promo. You know that. Goody and Big, YouTube, of course. Like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Buzzsprout.com. Check us out on Anchor mobile app. Check us out on where we at? Oh, iHeartRadio. Check us out on Spotify. Whoo, it's a lot of different. Oh, and we just got approved for Apple Podcasts as well. So we on Apple on your iPhones. So I know a lot of people on their iPhones. They don't, Android. You don't want to, So there it is. And of course, check out Goody and Big on motherfucking Facebook. Goody and Big Talks. We're gonna keep it rolling. And Big's not here today.
Salute to you, Big. What's good, Big?
Yes, sir. But the show, as always, must go on. So with that being said, episode 16, Black Power.
How y'all doing? We gonna just go into it?
Go in.
All right, brothers and sisters and little ones, you know what I mean? My name is Jesse. This is
It's your boy Chief I am, man.
we're here. We are part of the New Black Panther Party, Minnesota chapter. We're not really here to speak on that per se, but just a little bit on that. We're the vanguard of the neighborhood, and we out here trying to, correct the people and bring families back together, get economics back in play, and defeat white supremacy at all costs, and that, whether that be by force or, by policy. And, in order to do that, we have to get us together, interiorly, and then we can affect change exteriorly. And I'll let bro touch on anything he wants to touch in, and we'll get into Black Power altogether.
Yeah, so Black Power. What does it mean? What does Black Power mean? What does Black Power mean? As a student of history, I am somewhat in the dark to the phrase, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Although I support, many local initiatives, as the saying goes, one who does not understand their history is doomed to repeat it.
Could you say that again?
One who does not understand their history is doomed to repeat it. So, I think in the spirit of the conversation, maybe we need to take a leap back.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, so we currently we've been conditioned. Would you say we've been conditioned?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Classically conditioned. CC. When we first came in contact with who we now refer to as so-called white man, what did they call us? Who were we? And how was that drastically or, exponentially changed? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How did it start?
Well, how did it start?
Cause there's many theories on this, right?
Right.
You got the out of Africa theory.
Right.
You have the Aboriginal theory.
first off, what's the out of Africa theory? Just for any out of Africa theory 101.
Okay.
What's the
Okay, so from my understanding, the out of Africa theory sparks from the what I would say creation of the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
The triangular slave trade that encompassed the continent of Africa,
Okay.
the Americas, which is North, South, and Central Americas, and the European or the Asian continent.
Okay.
So, the out of Africa theory suggests that all so-called Negroes in America arrived to the American continent via slave ships. So what do you guys' thoughts on that? Is it even possible?
Well, see, the thing what you just said is, the whole thing is, we all have been conditioned to believe everything the white people have told us, right? So with that, what you said, we've been told we was brought over here on boats, but I don't believe shit I was told.
All right, before we get into that, because we're going to digress, I already know we are, why don't you explain the Aboriginal theory real quick, and
Okay.
then we'll tie it all together.
Okay, so if you're familiar with the Inquisition, you know that it started in Spain, specifically Portugal and Spain, and the claim is not even claim, it's substantiated by fact and history, that when the colonizers arrived to the American continent, there were Negroes with long dreads, message, and copper-colored skin all up and down the coast, and they inhabited the entire American continent, full of what you would call Negro Aboriginals.
That's my fact. I believe that correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying we were here already.
This
Oh,
country
man.
completely
Columbus
populated.
or
Thank you.
Viking or whatever the hell.
Pre-Columbus.
Right.
Okay?
Well, we already know Columbus, so we leave go
What?
pre-Viking,
Yeah.
pre-Mongoloid, all that.
Okay.
Right.
Continue, please.
So, with that theory, I'll call it a theory because it's been substantiated, but it hasn't been necessarily agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Americas is Negro land.
Mm-hmm.
This is the land of the so-called Negrito or the Negro or the black man or the colored man or the Indian or the African American or the Afro American or the black or the minority. I mean, you guys see where I'm going here?
Yeah. I'm following.
So then you also have the third theory, which is probably the oldest, which is the Asiatic black man, which go into the teachings of like who is it? Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple and the Moorish Science Temple of the Moorish Jews. What it basically encompasses is that the so-called black man is the original man of the planet,
Right.
which I agree with. Genetically, historically, they all. I mean, it's shown and proved. You can prove it through DNA. You can prove it through migration patterns that all people come from us. The question is, where did all of this stuff begin at? So, I think.
Or better yet, where did you Negroes come from? You got anything on that, Coger?
Where do we come from? I believe we come from the sun. I don't believe that we were brought over here on slave trips. I do believe, like in all things that we've been told, is a goddamn lie. And since neither of us were alive around that time, I can't say that. There ain't no Jesus. There ain't no white Jesus. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, to answer your question, where do we come from? Where did I come from? We came from here, where we've been already.
Okay.
But elaborate on that, please. A little more deeper.
As far as coming from here,
Yeah.
I mean, I would leave that. I mean, me right now, personally, I'm kind of in between, you know, because they're both very well. Maybe one is not so much plausible as the other, but maybe because I've been told it so much, it's kind of, you know, right there in that small place, and I always think like it could have happened. You know what I'm saying? Even though they say they can't find any ships, I can't verify this myself because I haven't been privy to that information. But and I also can understand. I mean, us ourselves, we got, and I actually probably can pull them up on my phone. I don't know if it'll be clear to you guys, but we got actual records from some of our great grandparents, and this is going back
At least 1700s.
You know what I'm saying?
We here, baby.
So
Cherokee, Choctaw.
and you know, and then there's all type of different. You got the Pan Africans that tell you that all type of different reasons why we can pull up those records. But long story short, me personally, I definitely resonate with the out of America theory. You know, but at this very point, I don't really. And people are gonna disagree with me. I don't think it's really worth arguing about, you know, because we're not doing anything,
Yeah.
and we're just arguing about two different continents, you know, and we're getting beat the shit out of on both of them.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I would like to move the conversation forward to, you know, actually action. And while we're here, that's one of the reasons why I joined the Black Panthers because. And we can probably gonna touch on the word black, but they didn't identify by race, you know, or what other ethnicity you claim to be. All you had to do is have this type of skin, and we set everything else at the door, and came in and tried to get things done in the neighborhood. Because at the end of the day, you can be a Moor, you can be a Hebrew Israelite. You can be a Pan-African. You can be a Egyptologist. We can keep going on. Christian, you know, Muslim. At the end of the day, we're all predominantly living in the same neighborhoods. But we'll be arguing about a fucking name, and we're not getting anything done in those same neighborhoods, which we all reside in. We're all getting put to ass. So me, I personally would like to move it forward and then get something done. And if that's something we definitely need to talk about and identify with just one name, because I do understand that also, everybody being under one banner, you know what I'm saying? But maybe there's a possibility we can have different factions under that one banner, and you know, there's one rule of law or whatever we all abide by. Now that's kind of getting way forward, and if a picture perfect world was out there, which we're not in, but yeah, that's just a little bit on where I'm at, just on that category and how I feel about it. What about you?
You know, with everything that everybody stated, I hear what you're saying about pushing the ball forward, right? And it makes a lot of sense. Like, why focus on things that appear to be unimportant at this point? Like, there's bigger issues with our people, right?
Yeah.
But and I only say but, you know, but usually comes when there's an inference or something like that.
Usually.
Shit, if you black, I'm Indian, and you African, how the hell we all got the same culture?
That's a good question.
That's different. We're talking about what I was talking about. I'm talking about in our neighborhoods, whether you can be a Nation of Islam Muslim, and you can be a Christian, and you can be a Hebrew Israelite, and y'all can all be living on the same block. You known this nigga since y'all was 6. You know his mama. You ate at his mama's house. His mama got that house from her mama. We already know you niggas been here for a minute as well as I am. I'm talking about that. We just niggas, but somehow on our road, you went this way and I went this way. Now you identify as something else, even though, nigga, we damn near been living, our parents, our grandparents all knew each other. That's different. Now you talking about an Indian who don't like niggas in the first place, when we're talking about the actual Indians from India. But, yeah.
No, I was actually speaking about an Indian.
Oh, well, yeah, they kind of get, well, everybody has their racial discrepancies with niggas for whatever reason. Yeah. I mean, we can go through a myriad of reasons, but this is just a fact. Mexicans, whatever, whoever, even niggas now is coming over and don't, well, what niggas would call niggas, meaning like there's some black Africans who don't like niggas, and you know, that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, I'm talking about people who we know are from the same soil as us, have been here, and went through the slave trade as we know it along with us, but somewhere we went different ways. I'm talking about being able to network with those same people, even though we may identify by a different name, put that on the table and come up with some, because there's certain things that you just can't say you disagree with. You can't, if I say, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite and you're a Moor, but I think we need to get our family dynamic stronger, whether you a Hebrew Israelite or Moor, you can't disagree with that. And if you do, then you ain't for our people.
Yeah, because it's a positive, it's all together.
Yeah, so there's fundamentally things that we can all agree on.
Right.
Now, we might not never agree on what the name of the Most High is, or what we were called 500 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's definitely things that we can agree on. Do we want economic empowerment? Are you going to disagree with that no matter what you were called? Hell no. So I'm talking about that, moving the ball forward on that. Now, yeah, we do have these different nationalities specifically coming to the United States of America to do business or trying to get in the business of fucking over the original people of this land, us. So that is a big business. So yes, we do have to identify those people and segregate them and make you coming from another area to make money off of us a very big issue, because yes, that's a $1 billion issue too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just to kind of in support of what you just said, you know, other nationalities come over here to make big bucks off of us. So that goes into the power structure as well. You know, you said we should all be able to agree on certain things, right?
Yeah.
Fundamental things.
Fundamental things.
So one fundamental thing we can agree on is that everybody else is whooping our ass.
Yes.
I agree.
That is correct, sir.
Agreed.
And
I mean everybody.
And the other issue is that it's our asses.
Yeah, I concur.
Ain't nobody else getting that ass whooped like we is. You know?
Ain't nobody got their ass whooped like we done got.
Man, it's not even close.
And this is a tag team event.
This
is Whitey slapping off the Chinaman, slapping off to the Bangladesh man.
They in there doing dances like in wrestling, high fiving, bang, elbow drop on your motherfucking ass, bro.
That's the truth.
So, but go ahead.
Matter of fact, here's another scenario.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna call the police on your ass. They gonna take you to jail. You gonna foreclose on your rent, and then I'm gonna come on the short sale and buy your property up for pennies on the dollar.
They don't even know what the hell you talking about now, man.
Whoa, you went. You might have went over a lot of people's head right there.
Fuck it, we gonna have to be here for 3, man.
Hold on, we're talking about power. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Power in America has to do with what? Economics. This is commerce that's going on here.
Commerce.
Yeah. So if you are listed as a commercial product on the record, a black man, that's a commercial product.
Correct.
What did they say? If you're not doing the selling, you're being sold.
You know?
Okay?
If you're not doing the selling,
you're the one being sold. You remember that.
You know, so
if you're not at the table, you're on the table. You feel me?
Okay. Whew. Hold on. Let's back it up now. Power. What'd you say? Power is something for infrastructure. What'd you say? Yeah.
No. Power is your ability to control your commercial activity.
Right.
Right?
So,
if you are the commerce
mm-hmm.
and you have no power,
Mm-hmm. Right.
You are the product.
You're the product.
It's like the credit. It's like the credit bureaus. The credit bureau. You are not the customers of the credit bureaus. You're the product. You're being sold.
Yep.
Along the route.
Yep.
When do they first start hitting you? They hit you when you come out the hospital. You don't have your children born in your own facilities, and what do? They bond your ass soon you're born.
Right away.
Right?
Immediately.
Your mother doesn't even know.
No.
Because she's been convinced that she's a color.
And that goes into what people always believe what they told when they were told they were a color and didn't question nothing. And that's the problem. Don't nobody want to question nothing. You gonna do this, you gonna be that, and this is what the fuck is gonna be.
Yeah.
What does black mean? Because we just power, right? We talked about power. What does black mean?
I mean, well,
Don't make sure it's live. Excuse me, guys. Just you good?
I don't know if are you familiar with Sister Yafa Bay?
Sister Yafa Bay.
She's been on the tube. Shout outs to the Sister Yafa Bay. Great illustrious, qualified mind.
Okay.
She introduced me to etymology, which is etymology, right? Etymology is the origin of words, right? So black, when you break down the etymology of the word black, it goes back to the word bleak, which goes back to the word bleach, which means to be pale and to be without color. So I ask you, who is the black man? And why has Black Lives Matter, why is 95% of it so-called white people? But they're actually the black people. That made any sense.
That's the overlay for the underlay.
Makes a lot of sense. You just threw me for
hey, shit, I be looking at this shit on TV like am I the only person that's...
You just dropped the bomb.
That was a layer of the onion being ripped off.
There you go.
And that onion's a thick
Let
one.
me rewind it just in case you didn't get it. The history of the word black, when you break it down, it goes back to the word bleak. Bleak goes back to the word bleached, and bleached means to be without color and pale.
So who is the individual on the earth who was out color
and pale?
Sounds like some flip-flop shit happened.
Whoa, what do you know? Now we gotta go to the 1492.
Oh,
when the real flip-flop happened.
Speak on that.
Okay, well, as many, or actually probably not many, don't know, we were in control of Spain, the Moors. And look, if you don't identify as a Moor, fine. No, look, keep it rolling, okay? We understand. Look, Moor only means black, just like black means black currently. If you were of dark hue, you were called a Moor all across the world. Okay, now you might have had a word that you called yourself, but that white man was on your ass at the time. We was banging it out with this motherfucker, and that's what he called us, and unfortunately right now we're reading most of his history books. But anyway, the Moors were in control of Spain and other parts of Europe for at least 700 years. Some people say it was more close to 1,000. Why 1492 is a very important date across the globe, and sometimes it might vary by a couple years, but if you notice, if you go to any country, 1492 or somewhere around that date is very important, because this is when, whatever you want to call us, lost power around the globe, because we were in power until that day in various parts of the globe, and we lost most of our strongholds in that year, and a usurping happened where they
explain usurpation.
When you are
You got it.
when you're usurped, someone pretty much just takes your place, holds on to everything, your title, your name. Almost, have you guys ever heard of somebody getting some foul play happening at
Identity theft.
well, not that, but I'm even going to a little bit more grander. Like at a big corporation, say at Apple or something, the CEO gets found doing something or whatever, and they'll pretty much cast, or the owner of Apple will get found doing something. His board members will say, even though you started this motherfucker, you gotta step down.
Yep.
And sometimes he'll fight. They'll go on for a whole year fighting on whether he has to step down or not. Eventually, he always does. Another motherfucker takes his place, but everything keeps running as Apple. Nothing in name changes. He's still called the next dude is still called the CEO. You forget about the old CEO, and their products keep coming out as usual. Your old iPhone 8 goes out in 6 months, and you got to go buy another one in another 6 months. So that's but with us, and like they said, identity theft, you know, we come in, we overthrow you, and then I come in, say, fella is the king or whatever they're going by at that time. I whack his ass, take his name, take his title, and we keep fucking operating as normal, and then we act like those other people were never even there in the story. But the crazy thing about our history, it's so long, so damn long, because I know we've been getting foot to ass for a minute, and we think it's been a very long time, and it has 500 years, or you know whatever time you think it is. It has been a very long time, but it's very small on the grand scale of things, on how long we were actually in business or being in control. So,
You know, and just add a thought. You know, the scriptures. You know, we're on the Good and Big show, right? The good book, right? It says that a day to the Most High is 1,000 years to man. Now, if we're going on that understanding, it's literally 12 noon. We've been getting our ass whooped from 9 in the morning until 12 noon. You know, it ain't been that long. The brother is right. But it goes back to the original statement. If we were the original Germans, if we're the Russians,
yes,
if we're the French, if we're the Spain, for Portugal, for all of these countries who today we currently believe are white European countries, what is black?
And that's why the flip happened. See, when you come from the flip, you understand. Things make more sense when you understand that things have been flipped.
I got another one for you guys. Color. All right. Who's the only person who turns red when they get mad? They turn blue when they envy somebody. They turn green. No, they turn blue when they're cold. What was that? Turn green when they envy somebody. And they call us color people.
Right.
But you the mugs
That turn colors.
turn different colors.
That's a fact.
I punch you, you turn purple.
Yep.
You get sick, you turn blue. You get envious, you turn green. We know what happens when your ass get angry.
You can't stand on that
Some of you
sun.
motherfuckers just red all the time, but
You can't
that's
stand
all
on
another-
that sun.
So yeah, man, the usurping is happening on every level, and a lot of times we're actually promoting this shit because we're so fucked up right now. I give you the well, let's touch on and
Let's do it. Let's go to election season.
I'll go to the Washington Redskins.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Yes, there is a bathroom, but it is far down the hallway.
Like right when we first came in. But all right, let's go into it. The Washington Redskins, the image of them is a red man, copper complexion. You know. And so I don't know. A couple months ago, after George Floyd died, right? Now the Washington Redskins, the so-called light-skinned Native Americans. Now, and this was crazy because we can be here all day, because there is a difference between the Native Americans and the actual indigenous people of this land. Some
Correct.
say indigenous or aboriginal.
We spoke on it earlier when you said we were already here.
Right. So now all this black, so George Floyd gets killed, right?
Right.
And black, we're tearing up the cities and shit. Black Lives Matter is trying to make little demands here and there and everything.
Yeah.
And so just a little history lesson, at least for the last 10 years, probably even longer, the Native Americans have been asking the Washington Redskins to change their name. They would never do it. They would talk about it and blow the motherfuckers off, right? Now this thing happens with George Floyd, right? Now these are all the light-skinned Native Americans who are asking them because it's highly offensive. So George Floyd thing kicks off anyway after Black Lives Matter. Like we were trying to get what's the name of the Betty Crocker symbol? What was that? Aunt Jemima or whatever.
Yeah, because it was resembling something but slavery. Yeah.
Well, she was black, and so everything was offensive at this time. And I'm not saying you guys should be offensive. I just don't get caught in the minutia of things. I always look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And I see I can see the duplicitous nature and the dubious shit they're trying to do because they do it the same way every damn time. Now, what happened was Black Lives Matter started speaking out on all these things that were supposed to be offensive to black people, like the syrup. What was that called? Aunt Jemima syrup. The Kentucky Fried Chicken lady.
Anything.
Or was that Popeyes?
It was
Kentucky Fried or
Popeyes.
It might have been Popeyes.
Might have been Kentucky too, because I think their recipe came from the slave.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Whoa, yeah, that's deep. Yep.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken lady works for everybody at this point. We just never.
Aunt Jemima was chained to the guy. I mean, that happened so many times to us where a woman, in particular, not to veer off, she created something so good by cooking in the slave master kitchen, and he just take her shit. Everything. Yeah, that's everything. That's everything. We done created damn near everything in this world, but
you got Henrietta Lacks.
Yeah.
They're
still using her to this
day. They done mass manipulated her gene pool.
But anyway, before we jump off subject, let's get back to the Washington Redskins. So anyway, it came up on, they were attacking everything that could be, disrespectful to black people. And then they went to somehow they got on the Washington Redskins and all the pressure from everybody. Now, I just found it ironic, right, that the light-skinned Native Americans have been asking them to change this name for the last at least 10 years. It might have been longer. And as soon as black people, the same black people who don't know that they're actually aboriginals, came and said something, then they were like, all right, you guys want, because what Native Americans do you see that look like the Native America on the Washington Redskins logo? Most Native Americans are whited the hell out. They almost look just like white people. So did that logo Native America or Aboriginal look more like you or more like the white people who they show on TV every day who are supposed to be the real Native Americans? I think we would all concur that it looks like more like us. Now, they had the hair funky or whatever, so you don't resonate with it. It didn't have any hair on his face, so, but if they would have did a couple of things, you'd have been like, that's me, nigga. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now they have effectively used you, the original people, to take you off the team.
So now you're just the Washington football team.
Right. And like Adrian Peterson said, and y'all can go watch this on YouTube, he said, I kind of wanted it to stay. And I don't know how long this brother's been conscious, and nobody even expects it out of AP. And he didn't even seem like he was on no conscious shit. It just came out. He said, man, I kind of wanted it to stay because most people don't know, but we range from dark brown all the way to the lighter ones you see today. And we don't have much stuff that identifies with us, so I would have wanted to keep the actual original logo there. Now, that's what he said verbatim. Anybody can go look that up because I know we got people. If you don't say the actual quote, they jump all the mentions and all that. But and this was coming from AP, and I'm like, what the hell?
Adrian Peterson.
And this was just This was right before the season kicked off, and next thing you know, they traded him to the Detroit Lions. I don't know if that was.
I want to propose a scenario. Okay, you remember the war in Iraq, Operation Iraqi Freedom?
Yeah, hold that thought though. Before you go there, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsor, number one, Goodfellas, LLC. And also, brought to you by, today, Proper Solutions Cleaning Services, LLC. If you want to get cleaning, professional, good work, holla at my man.
Hey, he does a great job, man.
Yeah, he's a partner. He's a partner.
Yes, sir. And if you want more information, I'll put it down in the description. www.propersolutionscleaning.com and phone number 651-508-9288. Y'all can holler at my man Dwight. He'll get you right for all cleaning needs that you may have. Holler at him. Again, I'll put it down in the description. Continue, sir.
Shout out to Proper Solutions.
Shout out to Proper Solutions. Properly soluting you. That's games. I don't know why.
Off the cuff.
Okay, so Operation Iraqi Freedom. What was going on over there? You had a foreign tyrannical government invading another group of people.
Okay.
Now, what did they do? They destabilized the economy. First thing that they did, they blew up all of their infrastructure.
Yep.
Grocery stores, banks, educational facilities. That's the first thing they did, right? The second thing that they did is they came over there and then they seized all the valuable assets, right? Anything that was a cash flow. And when you're talking about cash flow on a national level, you're not talking about $1,600 off of this unit. You're talking about $1,600 off of 3,000 units, 4,000 units, oil, water, gas, refinery. What happened 8 years later? You remember after the war was not won? They started calling the people of Iraq Iraqi Americans.
That's correct. That's a fact.
So they came in, they destabilized the country, they raped the country, they murdered the men, took the women as booty, and then they changed their names. What happened when they came over here and they met you?
The same exact
They
shit.
destabilized,
The same shit.
they depleted the infrastructure, and then they changed your goddamn name. So, if we talking about black power, black power, and what I understand it as right now today is subjugated power. It's the lack of power of a conquered people. You don't even know that they've been conquered. Because if you can clearly see it, our people are divided into three segments. You got those who don't give a fuck.
Yep.
You got those who believe they have a dog in the fight. And then you got those who just don't even know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's tough.
All of this came via that you were conquered. When they got here, they called you Indians. Right? Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary of the English language, you look up the word American, it says the copper-colored races that were found here by the Europeans. Now,
put a penny on your skin, y'all.
It's called the penny test.
Put a penny on your skin right now. And if you know anything about pennies, you got some that are real ugly and dark because they've been through it, and you got some who are on the lighter side. But we all fit into the range of the copper-colored people, which Christopher Columbus, as he said, the encyclopedia, under definition, described us as the very people he saw. Not these mongoloids, not $5 Indians that are running around today, getting all your benefits, getting all the treaties, agreements that they do try to keep intact or honor, for lack of better words. And so.
Okay, so let me just. I'm gonna keep
You know
going.
what MAGA code is, right?
The who?
MAGA. You know when
Make America Great Again?
Yeah, you know that's a code, correct?
What do you mean?
You don't know the code? It means keep your foot on the nigga neck. Keep the shit rolling. Because for it to be great again would mean it was great at some point for them. And I would have to say that's So it's just one of those things amongst many of them that they flash at you to let the others know. Keep it going. Keep up the good work, sir. Stay on them niggas. Don't let up.
See, that's a whole nother.
I know.
Want to get into presidential candidates.
Oh, we going there.
3 days before nigga, you can get killed over this at this time, fucking around and voting for Trump and letting them know about it, like I'm gonna do. No, I'm playing. I'm bullshitting y'all. I can't even put my email on this motherfucker. No new recruits this month, Black Panther Party. We're done.
Go ahead.
Finito.
No, I mean, just to kind of go back to what I was saying, man, they changed these Iraqis' names to Iraqi Americans. They got over here. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He landed in Hispaniola. He never touched foot on North America. Cortez came here. He was also sent by the Roman Pontiff. He was sent by the Vatican.
So you're saying that these people they're teaching our children in school false stories?
Hell,
He never even made it to America.
he never taught.
He made it to America.
He made it to the islands,
But not the North.
he never made it to North America.
Yeah. I know this to be true, but again, dumbing you down, keep you dumbed down.
But check this out, though. This is the important part of it. Check the history of the United States military. Do you know it's only been like 3 to 5 years where they haven't been in war? Who have they been warring with since they got here? Did you know you were 66-0 against the United States military?
You said it's only been 5
years.
It's only one war going on.
It's you, buddy.
They just look, man. Divide and conquer. They gotta make up different. Man, this shit is all one war. It's been the same war the whole time for the destruction and the ownership and control of the indigenous, aboriginal people of the world.
You gotta be a cold motherfucker to create division, and then within that division, create division.
Or out of chaos.
What'd you say last time?
What is it? Ab order? The Latin word, it means order out of chaos.
Order out of chaos. You said to me last time y'all was at my house and was drinking that behind my mama. You said, never let a good pandemic go to waste.
Oh, I got that from my brother. He used to always tell me there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Shit.
I mean,
did they let it go to waste?
Hell no, look what they've done.
They've
eliminated the middle class.
They say
yeah.
There's no more middle class. All you niggas is either poor or what are they called? Well-to-do black here? Well-off-to-do. Ain't no middle class no more. They killed that.
You is stay under the radar. We'll take that shit. We want to bring you right down where we are to the bottom.
Talk about the election since we're around that. Let's speak on the election, man.
I mean, you're appointing. Well, you're actually not appointing anything because the vote ballot. Come on, let's go on etymology again. It means a lie. The word ballot means a lie. If you're casting your ballot, you're casting a lie.
Do you know in certain states, Cartier's on the ballot?
Yeah, that's because the date he applied on certain states, you had to announce your candidacy at a certain time. So
what does that mean to you though? That he's not on every ballot and just
states have different rules, so
doesn't matter. Then he can be
I mean, he can't win because he's obviously. But
so
what's the point?
Just more of a distraction of anything, correct?
I mean, I knew a dude in Iowa who ran for. He used to run for crazy shit every year. So
we can put our own name on the ballot if we go down there, right?
Yeah, he used to do that shit everywhere.
So
He was popular in that, but he wasn't. He
wasn't gonna win the actual presidential. There's no chance of that.
Dick Gregory ran for president.
That's true. That's true.
Some people don't know about that.
That's true. Very true. Yep, he sure did.
And they actually had him winning, and then some crazy shit happens with the numbers. Y'all gotta go look at the story of this shit. And then he comes out with but for 5 minutes they had Dick Gregory winning whatever election that was in. That he
really?
was in.
I didn't even know that.
That's
crazy.
So, yeah, that's crazy. So I don't know what happened. That could be some conspiracy shit. Fuck, could have been your second black president. All type of shit. We gotta march for that shit. That
He
shit
would have been the first.
So yeah.
Oh, you talking about John Hanson, the first president?
So election coming up. You know, you got COVID-19 going on. Thoughts?
Election, COVID-19.
Thoughts on everything that's going on at this current moment?
As far as COVID-19, whoever is lost in the people, my condolences to the family.
Me as well.
At this point, I think it's nothing's clear, and that's intentional.
Of course.
Everybody's guessing. I don't really socialize with a lot of people. I never have anyway, so I haven't really been that concerned about it. But and as far as the numbers go, I definitely think they're skewed, at least in one way or the number. But I think they're probably lower than their actual are. But we got some people who are saying they're higher. But so I'm not gonna get into that argument because none of us can really prove it, I guess. Because as we know, we got people going into the hospitals for high blood pressure, and then they're talking about you got COVID, nigga. So
Minnesota made it up top 10. I said when this all came out, this whole map would be red. Minnesota made top 10. Where we at? We climbed up in that joint. Look at that. But I don't believe in you.
We also have we also have very dubious things going on with one thing I'm gonna say Trump is right on is y'all is freely letting motherfuckers protest in specifically these Democratic areas. At the same time, you're talking about COVID-19, 6 feet apart, no mask, can't go in stores and shit. These are thousands of people in these areas sitting right next to each other, less than 1 foot apart. So, that doesn't make sense how you can, the left can say these people are out there because they're tired, and a lot of these people on the left are supporting these demonstrations. And I'm not saying I'm not for them. I am for them, but I do see the fuckery in how they're being done. So yeah, you got situations like that. So yeah, at this moment, as far as COVID-19, it's pretty much, look, do whatever you feel right. If you feel like you need to ride with the mask on while you're in the car with the heat on, you do that shit. You know what I mean? I might not do that. I'm not gonna do that. If you know what I mean? If you that nigga who punching niggas for not wearing a mask, do that shit too. You just better not punch me. You know what I mean? So do whatever you want, because I know everybody is on their best interest. Nobody wants to see their kids die.
No.
Nobody wants to die themselves. So when I see, I'm not knocking whatever you want to do. If you want to have a conversation on whether I think it's right or not, we can go down that road. But at this point, I feel like, there's not enough concrete information to go either way. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we're out here winging it. And if you think, like I said, whatever you feel that's good for your family and yours, I support it. Just honor everybody else's decision. If you walk into a person's house that want to wear a mask 24 hours a day, honor that or leave. That's it. Simple and plain. But
Dick Gregory said it best. It's a game. It's a game, man. It's all a game. And unfortunately, we have to play whether we want to or not.
That's the fucked up part. Because you can't tell anybody who just lost their grandma from COVID-19 she didn't really have COVID. You gonna be in a fight.
Yeah, you gonna.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she might not didn't have COVID. She might have died from the flu. The flu will kill you, especially if you over 60. It'll knock you out the game. It takes 20 million people or 20. 20,000 people,
So
something like that.
the numbers are high.
Yeah, but yeah, they take a lot of, so the flu's nothing to play with, you know, especially if you have your immune system is not working properly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can't tell anybody that people didn't die for that when they was just sitting at that hospital window, couldn't even talk to them. They just watching them from outside. So, look, if you disagree that adamantly, just keep it to yourself. In some instances, now, if you're with some people who you can engage in discourse with, we can have that conversation, whether it's real, fake, host, whatever, conspiracy, all that. And then that's when you do that. But yeah, don't tell nobody that their grandma just did. It was a host. Don't tell them their grandma's dying was a host, man. You gonna get your ass beat. Yeah. You know what I mean? And rightfully so.
Yeah, because people, for one thing, even if you was right, if you stood on that position to say that it wasn't real, you can't tell people, like you say, you can't tell that person. It's gonna be a problem because
you gotta have tact, man. You know, and
we've been programmed, man, to go with the grain. So when anyone goes against the grain, it's not gonna, it's not gonna feel right to them. It's not gonna feel right to anyone that doesn't. They've been going a certain way. I couldn't tell my mama that I don't believe in the white Jesus in our living room back in Detroit. I can't tell her that. If I tell her I don't believe in the white Jesus picture in our living room, in her living room, in her house, that she wouldn't have. The fuck?
Right.
I don't. And I haven't for some time.
But yet that ass might have been getting.
Oh, when I was younger? Oh, God. But now, even now, she might throw something at a nigga trying to grab a knife or something. Satan. Yeah. She might think her son evil or something, bro.
Cause see, and let's be clear why you on that just because we went to Christianity. For people who don't know, there's a difference between what Christianity say and the Bible say. It's two different things. It's not even close. And I know that's, and because I do, and I understand it. Like, see, I understand our people. We are frustrated where we feel, and I feel that we haven't did as much as we possibly could, but then there's arguments for saying that we've actually done a hell of a lot. You know what I mean? Come from, like, there's a debate on actually how slavery was carried out, but let's just go with the story they have given us. If we go,
you object, I see.
No, I'm talking. I can't go with the story that they give. I'm talking about little things as far as it ended in 1865. You know what I'm saying? Ended in 1865.
Right.
The fact that we were enchained. I'm not gonna deal from what landmass we went through, but the fact that we weren't not allowed to read. How the hell do we get out of slavery at 1865? And 10 years after that, we're taking government positions, okay? And then if you go 60 years after that, we already got functioning towns. So that functioning at such a high level that people got to actually come in and bomb our shit with military vehicles, equipment. So if that's not moving fast, I don't know what the hell is. Now, we have regressed, I would say that, because up until the 60s, and it's crazy, the one thing people say that voting did, or one of the great things that people try to say that voting works, is the Civil Rights Act. And I would actually leave you with, since the Civil Rights Act, we have got more and more docile because of the Civil Rights Act. And Lyndon B. Johnson said he was going to have us niggas voting for the Democrat Party for the next 300 years. He said this, not me. It's a quote. Go look it up. And since the Civil Rights Act, we have been at least 84% Democrat every year.
That's why you didn't know why. He just told you why.
But hold on, isn't that crazy what you just said about Lyndon B. Johnson? Don't that sound just like what Willie Lynch said?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you niggas doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing for the next 200-300 years.
And this is a quote from him, so you can look this up. Even y'all little fake fact-checking site Snopes, who there's only one person who works for, and he does everybody's Snopes and fact checks and shit. Okay, well, even on that shit, they be like, kind of credible. We're not sure, because a general or something wrote a book and put the quote in it, but there's no like videotaping of Lyndon B. Johnson saying this shit. But come on, man, we know white people. We, especially at that fucking time,
Yeah.
you know, I think they still practicing that shit now. But for you niggas who think niggas just change overnight, alright, fine. This nigga's general said this shit, and we can see it effectively happening right now. You
Yep.
can't even mention voting for the other party. And you niggas is like, how the fuck is you niggas only riding with one side and they both kicking? Nigga, you supposed to be more, like, you supposed to, if you ain't going for nothing tangible, then why is you doing it? Your situation is not changing, it's getting worse. The economic gap is widening. It's almost calcified, meaning that we can't even get in this shit. Even if our luck changes tomorrow, we won't be able to get into that range, because it's everything's been monopolized. Everything's already running. We're just now fucking understanding credit.
Hold on. So just to ask you a quick question, because you just gave a mouthful.
Yeah.
It was very worth it, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that there's systems already in place?
Yeah, the system's good in place.
Okay, and the system, the pathways to these systems are calcified.
No. When I say calcified, the wealth within the country is calcified. So
It's not moving. It's
meaning
staying where
you're
it's
not
at.
gonna be a millionaire, nigga. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Nothing you can do. You know, and even if you do can become, it's not significant to the overall number of black people that we have in this country and what they make on a yearly basis. If you, one person, become a millionaire, who gives a fuck? We got all these niggas down here. So when I say the gap is calcifying, it means you as a people are always gonna be in the same predicament you be in. And I don't know if y'all is with that shit, but I'm not with it.
Okay, so let's get one more question. So, black is a label that was put on us.
Correct.
We live in a system where all roads are frozen. The money is where it's at. It's not moving.
Damn near.
There is
Alright.
there's not going to be a redistribution of wealth.
No.
Well, I mean, they might. I'm not saying they're not gonna be.
A currency reset, so to speak.
It could. I mean,
It's going to be a currency reset, and we're in the
I-
process of a currency reset, but it won't be for the benefit of us.
Okay, so we've been conquered on our land. They've changed our names 8 times. We now believe that we are the other side of the spectrum, and the system, which is controlled by 2 parties, are the right wing and the left wing, which are 2 wings of what? The same
Senate.
bird.
The Senate.
2 wings of the same bird. Right wing, left wing.
Not to be funny, but in the
Bird.
previous episodes, I said I look at it as my left testicle and my right testicle in the middle has the same goal, no homo. Pause.
And every once in a while, one takes a back seat to the other one.
But the same goal for the glue, the Elmer's glue. The Elmer's glue. That's how I look at it.
So if we incorporate all of these different factors, what is black power?
Just like Black Lives Matter, actually. It's something made to presume to be helped.
I guess, and I get where you're going with this. I do.
You
And I actually agree with it. My thing right now is, and that's where I get to the action part of it, because I agree with the definition. I've seen it myself. I've read it myself. I understand it legally, lawfully, what that means. But right now, there's no, I guess, how do we convince somebody to reside under another identity when we can't prove to them, knowing the state of our people, that other identity is going to change anything for you?
Well, the white man walk in here and get on this show right now and stand over us and tell everybody out there
All black people.
Oh, he said it. It's done. You guys are this.
White men are coming this motherfucker and change the name of the show. We used to have Goody and Big right there. Interrupt everything. Act like it's a thunderstorm. We interrupt you. We're live from and make your ass do the weather on your own.
Oh shit.
You know.
Hey man. You know we could. You know.
That's that white numb say so.
One thing for sure, we could be here all day, but we gonna wrap things up, man, because we're gonna have to have y'all back.
Before you wrap, brothers.
Oh, well, let me finish what I was
Yeah,
going to
because
say.
you were saying.
I was going to say this we have, because we already know, man, some people will call me a part of the conscious community, although at this point, I don't even like that term. Yeah. Just like I don't like the term pro-black, because pro-black just means you're for black people, whatever the fuck that means. So, and the conscious just means that you understand what's going on. It doesn't mean you won't fuck over the next nigga that's standing next to you while you know what's going on. So I don't like those terms really put on me. But for the sake of argument, Hebrews claim identity to change the identity. Moors claim to change your identity. We have a myriad of situations, and we can't really prove that anything is helping us. But although we do have some, we have some Hebrew groups that are doing very well. I can't really speak on any other groups, but I identify as an Israelite, and I do work with them on numerous occasions. So,
so you did. So your answer to the question is.
My answer to the question is, although I agree with you, what's going to convince the average black person outside of your paradigm that, hey, I shouldn't call myself black, I shouldn't call myself colored, I shouldn't call myself Negro? What do we have to offer him? Because right now, black, we've taken a hold of that.
Yeah. That's gonna take a lot to break.
We're in love with that name to the point where if a nigga say some shit like, nigga, I ain't black, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, they be like, oh, nigga, you just running from your problem. They say shit like that.
Kind of like, nigga, you not no Democrat, you a Republican. What the hell is that gonna change, brother? Oh, you not a Republican, you's a Democrat.
Right, so I'm just saying, I guess my thing is, what is the advantage of it?
Being a Republican or a
Democrat? No. Changing our identity from black. Although I do agree with the definition and everything, what's the pros of changing our identity? And I know I can think of some myself, but just so we changing our identity, and two, how can we get the average 14, 15-year-old, especially right now, who's identifying with Black Lives Matter, who I don't support. I support the theme, Black Lives Do Matter, but I don't support the organization. But how do we get that 14-year-old who's self-identifying heavy right now because of everything that's going on, which is what's happening every other week to black people, the news, how do we get that black man, that black young man, or that black young woman to say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't identify, maybe we should start calling ourselves something else, and what are the benefits of that? And can you show and prove that the benefits are real?
Well, I think with any conversation, you have to have an attention getter, right? Yeah. And what grabs the attention of the youth? Success, money, flash. You can have all these things and still be righteous, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So, but the question is, how do we stop focusing on what we call ourselves and start focusing on how we're going to gather the people? What's going to get their attention? Because, like the scriptures say, the so-called Negro requires a sign. Every other group of people, they deal with technology. But the Negro requires a sign. You have to actually show and prove that you are what you say that you are.
Right. Mm-hmm. So once again, most conscious people are not, and this is just my anecdotal experience, but I think you'll probably concur. We got a couple like polite and things of that nature, but and even then, damn, I kind of get stuck at him. Like, who can we say is actually showing that he's being successful, whether you agree with his ideology or not? I agree with a lot of things Polite says, and then we sway on different ways, but.
You talking about Brother Polite?
Yeah, Brother Polite.
Okay. Or what about Rizza?
Rizza Islam? I mean, I don't know if he's successful as far as, but yeah, his name is getting a lot of buzz right now.
Him, Young Pharaoh, Dr.
Oh yeah,
Umar.
Young Pharaoh, he's getting a lot of money. Umar, I don't know how much money he's getting now. I know he was getting a lot of money, but he said that school will be done. So I hope he shuts niggas up, because
that'd be great.
His idea is very good.
It'd be awesome if he shut niggas
yeah,
up.
If he can, I hope he can. You know what I mean? But I don't think he can really be disappointed that people are questioning his motives and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother level. I've never contributed to his campaign, so I'm not gonna even go out there on a fake witch hunt against him and say he's doing something that he's not or whatever. But I think it's a fair, based off of what I know, I think it's a fair question. But so knowing that we need a sign and we need that person to say, hey, if you do this ways, you're going to end up with this end result. Knowing that we're that type of people, and considering most conscious people are not in a favorable light as far as economics go, and like I said, this is all anecdotal, so maybe you have a different experience, but that seems to be the norm. We do have some outliers like Polite, Pharaoh, Umar, but that's 4 out of the how many people? You know what I mean? So, and maybe they're doing something bigger. I hope they are. I'm just saying, I'm not seeing any companies that say Israelite name on it, because you can do that shit. Chinese people do it all the time. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing those companies popping up. We already know the number of black businesses. Most of them have, like 80% of them only have one employee. So the owner is usually the employee also, which is not a problem. You can make buku shit doing your shit by yourself. So I'm not knocking that either, but that just shows you that, hey, we don't have that arm reach to everywhere to just be like, look at me, do this, I'm successful. So who's gonna want to follow that, I guess, is my question. And I'm not saying people shouldn't, I just understand it. I understand the people. It didn't take me to see that to want to change certain things I did, but we know, like I said, we know how our people are. So if we're talking this conscious shit, man, you gotta consciously know how to make money too.
Yeah.
That's a part of living. You have to consciously know how to be a provider.
Yeah.
If you're not, look, man, we can talk about how the black woman needs to understand what black men are going on in the system all we want to, but at the end of the day, your biological makeup is that. You are not supposed to be outpaced by your woman. Not in the categories that you are supposed to be taking care of. Yeah, she's supposed to be outpacing you and rearing those children, getting their school shit done, breastfeeding. Yeah, those are things you can't do, but providing, leadership, protection, all that type of shit, nigga. If your girl's grabbing the strap before you are, you got a problem, bro.
Major problem.
If you watching the kids and playing PlayStation all day, and I'm not knocking playing PlayStation, but I understand some of the sisters when they walk in the crib and you've been sitting there for day 63. Okay, I understand that, and I understand the immediate attitude, But so yeah, we can talk that all we want, but at the end of the day, man, the same way you're conscious and gathering this information and doing your research, you have to see the loopholes and where you can make money. And it might not be pretty. It might be some ugly shit, but the sources are there. There are ways we can do this. We just got to educate each other. And you know what, brothers? Y'all who doing good, man, look, man, stop acting like y'all can't share nothing, bro. I understand you don't want to give them your clientele or your customer base. But, man, if you see a young brother out here, especially the young brothers,
Yeah.
some of these old niggas is too far gone. But come on, man, don't. If a young nigga asks you for some help, don't go and don't say no crazy shit like you got it up out the mud. Like, yeah, bro. I understand you did, but look, man, don't tell little shorty that means sell dope to him, bro. You know what I mean? Don't tell that. I had to do what you do. Don't say that shit, bro. At least try to fake like you care. Show them how to go to the Secretary of State office and get an LA. Do something, bro. If you ain't gonna even at least put him in some direction where he's, going the right way. Don't say no crazy shit like me. You gonna have to grind hard like I did.
Yeah.
Like that's some bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So point them in the right. Show them how to get that certification.
So our true power does not lie individually what we can do. It lies in what we can do as a group.
Yeah, and also doesn't.
Because our situation is different than everybody else's.
Exactly.
Everybody else, like the brother, the brother with the tattoos on his face, Grace. What's his last?
David?
No. He's from Florida. Got the long dread.
Oh,
take girl to go.
I know what you're talking about. He's a smart brother.
He got the board game called In Home Banking.
Yeah.
You talking about? Yeah, I know you talking about.
I can't think of his name. I just was looking at his live.
Well, the brother's on point, and he basically makes the point that our situation at this point is dire.
Yeah.
So anyone chasing the idea that somehow you're gonna do this on your own, you are in effect part of the problem.
Yeah, and that goes the same thing with look, I'm not asking nobody to ask the government for nothing, but look, man, there's never been, and maybe I'm just ignorant to this fact, but I've studied a lot of history, and there's never been an equal society on the face of the earth since it existed. So we're thinking that white mommy and white daddy's gonna invite his stepkids back to the fucking table, and he's not. That table's always got to be littler than his. I'm sorry, man. And if it's not, that means that the power pendulum has switched, and nobody who's in their right mind and understands self-preservation is gonna give the nigga that can effectively wipe me out in like 10 different ways if he was actually knew what he was.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna give him equality.
No.
Because equality for us is destruction for him.
Yeah, and like you said, self-preservation.
I'm talking about just your ability to be able to say, "Woo, I don't have to think about coming up with." That gives you the fact that you don't have to worry about coming up with rent the next month gives you the ability to put that energy somewhere else. And everybody know the real currency is time. Because once I get you niggas to 40, you niggas pretty much don't even want to fight no more. So now, fuck you. I can go concentrate on your kids again, and we can keep doing this shit, and we can keep having y'all pump out the same product. Single boys, single daughters raised by single mothers who was never intended to raise a family on her own. So we can keep trying the same things, and
so our power is not the power that we're looking for, the power that we striving for. This ain't nothing that's gonna be given.
It's not even power only answers, and this is a fact.
He said
power only answers to power.
Yeah, by force.
Okay? You got to either come with an equal or greater force. That's the only way. Anything else, y'all playing around. And we is playing around. And when I say we, I'm putting myself in that also. We is playing around. But look, that asking shit, ask next year. You hear what they told Q? You heard what they told Q? Wait till after the election and then come holler at us. So look, not only that, y'all remember the document that was leaked, right? That said, when talking to black people, never promise anything. Empathize with them. Tell them how that was fucked up. Tell them how that should have never happened. But never promise them anything, because if they promise you something, then you really got a reason to be mad. When they promise you new schools and shit, you got a reason to tear up some shit. Now they can just say, oh well, like for instance, the '94 crime bill. When does Joe Biden say, well, I had bipartisan support. I had the preachers knocking on my door, the women telling me how they were victims in their own neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? They use you to fuck over your own self.
And now he says, if you don't vote for Joe, you're not black.
Right. So he's running the same he's running the same scheme on us again, and you got niggas actually falling for it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And Kamala Harris, she was locking up all type of niggas. Okay.
I got this brother's on Facebook said we even passed it. That was what's she doing now? She got to put in.
She's not you. She's not black. Come on, man, stop it. All right. Her mother's an Indian. The Indians in India, they racist as hell. They got a caste system there that's way like you niggas don't even know you in a caste system. You in a caste system right now.
It's called a color-coded caste system.
That's why you call black. Black has nothing to do with your actual skin. Even though some of us, well, most of us ain't even got that dark. But I've seen a couple motherfuckers.
Now listen, I'm giving out. We're saying this on Big Goody and Big today. If you can give us one person who meets the definition of the word black, $20 gift card on me. $20 gift card on me. Like in the comments, subscribe, leave a comment, send a picture. And he can't be blue black.
Talking about this.
He can't be taco.
But yeah, but long story short, yeah, we're in a caste system right now, and I guess the fucked thing about our class system, black, and that's even kind of dumb, but just because I've been in it myself, I can kind of say, like, black kind of correlates with brown type of shit, because there are some dark brown people. But other than that, maybe that's our problem, because, like, in India, it's very noticeable, nigga. The lowest person is called an untouchable. You can't try to spin that anyway. You are untouchable, I can't touch you, because they clean up shit. That's their work job in India. They're called the untouchables. They clean up all they're pretty much our manual plumbing service, where they literally come get your shit out and dump it and shit like that. But so maybe that's why we're a little bit confused on what's going on here. But
I gotta say that.
Yeah, man, I try to give niggas as many excuses as I can, but they never really.
You niggas is drinking the Kool-Aid.
But yeah, so
how's the Kool-Aid? Is there a lot of sugar in there?
Yeah, black doesn't have nothing to do with your skin, bro. It has nothing. This is all fucking caste system.
And don't say you from the blackest sphere of the black dimension of black galaxy.
A black
But yeah, man.
black.
Yeah, there's certain things, and you know, black people are, you know, we got some type of brainwashing has.
There is no black people.
Because you know, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, and that's the thing I fear.
I'm gonna double it. You bring a black person and a white person. Can't do either.
Crazy.
It's impossible.
A white person, do you know that's actually white? They're more of a
reddish pink,
peach, maybe rosary red. You know, there's some shit like that. But yeah, man. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff is very apparent when you just look at it, and black people still won't even admit it's going on. Like for instance, like we can bring up this caste system. We can show clearly that it is a class system. Okay, because we have people who are not even brown. Or even what you would think about a white person joining white, they are under the banner white. Mexicans are under the banner white.
That's correct.
Arabs are under the banner of white.
That's correct.
Haile Selassie, when he came to America, he was white.
Asians are under the banner of white. And as we know, Arabs don't look like white people. I mean, well, I guess kind of to a certain degree, but we know Arabs also come in various different hues depending on where they're coming from. My point is this: there are people who are clearly not of the Caucasian. Well, and I guess, hey, do we even know? Maybe they are members. Maybe that's what they're doing it off of. I don't know for sure, but we see people with color being let in to the white caste system. You, on the other hand, you can't never get in that motherfucker. Not you. Everybody else. Everybody else can make it into that motherfucker.
Everybody else is Indian. You're not an Indian.
You gotta stand to that.
I've seen Indians before, and I've seen those guys up there. They don't look like Indians to me.
Oh yeah, that's famous Donald Trump.
Come on, man.
But yeah, they letting the Indians in. The Indians can identify with white. The Asians can identify with white. The Arabs can identify with white. Nigga, you, bruh. You better not try.
So I guess at the end all be all of this whole conversation, black power, by definition, historically, means no power. Because there is no power in confusion.
I agree.
And if we're all sitting here and we all claim to be part of the black race, none of us are black. We're all variations of brown. Let me ask you this. What do the police say when they chasing somebody that looks like one of us?
Chasing a black African American.
One of the two, or both, maybe.
They say it all together. Black African American. That's what I've always said. I got a black African American and an all black T-shirt.
Yeah, I think it varies depending on the, but yeah, black definitely is definitely black.
Or African American.
Yeah.
This is what I would suggest to everybody that's watching this show. One, do the science on what you're calling yourself. Okay? Like the brother said, we identify as Israelites. You know, specifically tribe of Gad, tribe of Judah. Right? If you call yourself anything that your oppressor is telling you that you are, I can't see any victory in that.
Period.
I mean, look what they did to the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
The original Black Panther Party. Look what they did.
Yeah.
You know? Look what they did to all of the so-called community-based organizations that fell up under the monarchy or the byword of black. You know? What does black mean in law? It means dead in the eyes of law. Civil liter mortus. Dead in the eyes of law. Having no civil or contracting rights.
Pay attention.
What's the history of black people? I mean,
it's a very negative one, very bad one.
Why every time one of you niggas go run a 9.8 in a 100-meter dash, they say that this is new black history? You telling me you niggas ain't been running 9.8 since the beginning of time? No. Black is a creation. You were created. In my opinion, brothers, this is why there is no going forward. And I understand that you said it's kind of mental masturbation to be arguing over labels and titles. Well, let me ask you this. Supposedly, the first man, what did he do once he was given dominion over the world?
He named everything.
He named it. You are what you are named. Black, civil liter mortus, the absence of light. Why you think you voting in a two-party system and neither one of the parties have your best interests at heart?
Number game.
It's all game. It's all trickology. It's all wordplay.
Yeah.
It's
man. Hey man, this has been a great episode. We could be here forever. We're gonna have to do more, of course, in the future. You guys, we could keep going. I would like you to go ahead and shout out any social media you got, anything you want to shout out, let the people know where they can find you and all that good stuff.
All right, man. You know, my name is Jesse. Go by a couple names, but right now, until I come out with my actual platform, we'll go by that right now. Couple things. Shout out to the new Black Panther Party, Minneapolis chapter. Um, let's keep rocking over there. Keep improving. Keep doing what we need to do. Just a couple things. Power answers to power only. So if we're not on that other side of where power can actually answer, and don't get me wrong, we have that power, but we have to utilize it correctly. Two, as far as black goes, I definitely understand it. The other thing, as far as the definition, man, look, we have to, as a people, we have to stop getting emotional with everything and telling people what it means to you. Okay, the facts are the facts. We have a lot of people, when you give them a definition of what a word means, they say, but no, it doesn't mean that to me. Well, okay, bruh. Well, look, conversation over. We don't have to talk. It's just like all these holidays. We all claim, look, we ain't nobody been working for the last 4 months. Everybody's gonna go spend all their money on Thanksgiving when they raise up the food prices.
What's about today? Halloween. I think
Oh,
it's about
Halloween,
eight
yeah.
billion on Halloween a year.
Really?
Black people, I think,
I
8
didn't
billion.
know that.
Something
Damn.
like that.
I thought that was the one
Once
holiday
again,
we might not go
It's
all out
actually
on.
up 56% of us are only participating in Halloween this year, and it's still $8 billion.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know. I knew like Thanksgiving and Christmas was high, and maybe New Year's, but we even going all out on Halloween. But okay, that's new to me. But long story short, man, like, look, don't tell me what you feel about these holidays. I can show you in whatever history text you want to learn about it in that this is a wicked ass fucking day. When I was probably killing your people who look like you on. Okay, Thanksgiving for sure. You know what I'm saying? So look, don't tell me how you feel about some shit when I'm giving you proof. If we're gonna have feelings contest, I'm gonna have you talk to my woman because that's what she deals with all day. And, you know, I pretty much just gotta let that shit go in one ear and out the other. But yeah, man, let's deal with facts, man. Let's get out the feelings. When we talk about these elections and stuff, don't go by what the optics. The optics is what's been keeping us complacent.
Yep.
Let's go by the numbers. How much wealth have we gained since the end of slavery? 1865 since now, when we got out of slavery, we owned 1/2 of 1%. Today, in 2020, we own 1/2 of 1%. We have more millionaires than we did by then. We don't own shit else. So that means the millionaires have got a little bit richer, and you niggas have even got even poorer. Because you still don't own the same amount. There's more of us here than there were then. So look, bro, you're actually worse because you're bigger. So that 1/2% is actually less because you got to spread it around more people now. Okay? So you're actually in a worse position because you're 1/2%. I mean, 1/2 of 1%. Don't forget that it's not 1.5%. It's 1/2 of 1%, which means you were under 1%. If you go look, we've gotten worse. Okay, so let's just deal with facts when we're having these conversations about election, or we're having these conversations about COVID, or let's just have educated conversations. Don't let the conversations disintegrate. But with that, love everybody, man. Guard your family. If you're not armed, I am having some armed classes coming up soon. I'll let Goody know, and if you need get your gun license, your firearm license to carry, we can do business on that side. But yeah, definitely protect your family. Stay healthy, because niggas is dying off of something, whether it's COVID or the flu. So stay healthy. Guard your family, and let's get to this money, man. Everything else is shenanigans and foolishness. Like all this, like, man, we seen what's happening. We seen how fragile all of our lives were. This right here just showed us we had 3 different we had COVID, we had food shortage, and we have death. We have all these things coming one after another. And so we have a glimpse on how worse, because this is nothing. Imagine when there's no food. So yes, this is a time for us to prepare. No matter how much it is, just get better than when you ordered it yesterday. So with that, I'll leave it with Goody, and
Yeah, man, it's your boy, man, Chief, man. You can find me on YouTube, Chief I Am. Starting up my channel. I want to give all the props to the brother Good right here, fella, having me on. To the people, you know, start a business. Starting your own business. Try to figure out a way. Try to find a lane. It's hard to find your niche. You know, I'm going through the same thing, but I'm figuring it out day by day. I kind of feel like once you start your own business and you become self-reliant, things might get a little bit easier for yourself and your own family situation. I would say I don't want to come off as if our people are powerless. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to use power with power. You have to combat power with power, just like the brother said. There's many applications of the word power. One of the most vital, in my opinion, is your ability to comprehend words. The lack of the ability to comprehend words is known by the word aphasia, right? When you can't remember the definition of words and how they are applied in your current situation, I believe that that's what we suffer from, you know, as a people. As far as on the commercial end, if you don't know that you are being sold, then you probably are. You know, it's kind of like we talked about. All in all, we do have the power. We have the power to, you know, to institute change amongst ourselves. We definitely do. That's what we do have in our power. We have the power to deal with each other and only each other. That's what we do control. You know, as far as the systematic things, it's going to take a while, you know, to undo a lot of these things as far as creating our own systems are concerned. You know, I would say, you know, all praises to the Most High, you know, and thank the brother for having me out.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and let me say one more thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey, brothers and sisters, man, watch who you sleep with out here, okay? Because you get these bogus women and you get these bogus men, and children can become a real tether on your success if you're not properly set up, you know. And we already know the statistics. Fatherless homes almost guarantee the level of going to jail is higher. Graduating high school, everything is just there's a tremendous difference. So I'm not blaming anyone, although I could, but I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, watch these dirty ass niggas, and brothers, you watch these dirty ass women, because they're out there. And the other thing, look, the way we create our own systems is we have to start with the family nucleus first. Many families create communities. Even if I know that brother's a Moor or Pan-African, if I know he's righteous, I can still meet with him on different things, and we can actually do business together or do other things together. If I know this brother's not dealing with his children right, though, my children cannot go play with his. Okay, and that's also a thing we have to stop. Look, you don't need to be around everybody just because he looks like you. Your children don't need to be around everybody just because they look like you. We already know the famous words, all folk ain't kinfolk, or however it goes, all black folk ain't black folk. With that, I end it. Peace.
Hey, man, it's been one. I thank you brothers for coming out, man, and you know, the most important thing in life is time, and I appreciate y'all time. I appreciate y'all coming out here.
Oh, we'll be invoicing you.
And I'd like to leave y'all with this. Oh, before that, of course, Goodfellas LLC, Goody and Big on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
Hit that notification
because then you get this hot shit right on your phone. You'll get a thing, bing, it's hot and ready. Like when you put something in the oven, you put something in the oven and you're like, bing, it's ready to get it. Bam, come get this hot fire. Check us out on Anchor, phone app, Pocket Cast, Google Cast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout.com, where you can get the audio version of everything. You even get this episode right here. It'll be on Buzzsprout in the future, where you can just get straight audio. Just check us out. Show love, like, share, subscribe again, comment in the and down below if you have any questions. Also check out Goody.Big at yahoo.com if you'd like to submit any questions, and we'll read them and address them on future shows. With that being said, I'd like to leave y'all with this. On my way in today to do this show, Tupac came on the radio, Just the Way It Is. Great song, and two things stuck out to me. He said, y'all not ready for a black president? And he said, Huey said, fight back, now Huey's dead. And that speaks volumes, because every time we get somebody that's worth a damn, like Malcolm and many others, they get killed. They take us away. So we got to get it together. This is episode 16, Black Power.
16 is 1 plus 6, which equals 7. Numerology.
It's gonna be a famous episode then, baby.
Hey.
Number 7 is the complete one.
Hey, and with that, again, I appreciate y'all for coming out, and I look forward to having shows with y'all in the future. We love y'all. Peace.
Shalom.